Have you guys ever wondered how to get your passion started and on the road for success? Well, in today's video, guys, we're gonna look over my life and how I got started shooting videos and my whole cinematography and photography career. So stay tuned and hopefully it'll help you guys as well. You know, I grew up in the age where digital cameras were just starting to come out. Now, I remember when I was about 10 years old and my family got their first digital camera. It was a Kodak EasyShare, whatever. And it actually had a small photo mode. I know it looked horrible, but I was more interested in that than actually taking photos at the time. And I would do these little movies of like, sledding because, I'm from upstate New York with all the snow and everything. And just do these like random, kind of like GoPro-ish shots with it, like personal stories and everything. And that's how I kind of just got into filming and just starting with that little, cheap first generation digital camera. Now, it didn't take long for me to realize that my passion was really video. Even though I still love photos and I still do a lot of photos as well, my main knack was recording videos. And ever since then, when I was about 10, when I discovered my passion for that, I moved on to buying my own video professional camera. And I think I was about 11 or 12 at the time, I think about 12. And I saved up $1,000. I don't know how. I think I was just doing chores for my family and doing these little side jobs or something for neighbors, like mowing the lawn or something. But I managed to save up enough money to buy a $1,000 camera. And I bought this professional, I think it was a Canon GL1 camera. And I was so excited, and I just started recording with it, whatever I could, making these short little movies and whatnot. Maybe I'll put in a short little clip of what I recorded with it here and there in the video so you guys can see. But that was a number of years ago. We're talking about, 15 years ago at this point. And it kind of just started from there. And also, guys, I grew up homeschooled. So instead of going to public school, I would just play with my camera for half the day and then, of course, do my required learning through the books and everything with my mom. But half the day was just recording and editing on my, first generation, whatever, PC computer that would barely even load the clips. But I was able to get some really nice short videos and everything. I was really happy about that. And it just kind of fueled my passion. And I think when I was about 14, I bought my first high definition mini DV, HDV camera. And from there, I actually went into town one day and I realized that this little store was coming up, this little business. And there's these two guys from New York City, because I was living up in the deep mountains of Catskill, New York, about 3 hours away from the city. And they decided to kind of retire. I think one guy worked for NBC and the other one for ABC or something. And they were, news cameramen. And they decided to move up and have a little video business in my small town with less than 3,000 people that live there. And so basically, I just walked in there one day and said, hey, I love videos. And I just bought this new camera. I'm really excited to shoot with it. I'm 14 years old at the time. I'm but I had such a passion to do this. And I followed that drive to do it. And I went in there and they were like, how does this kid know so much about videos and cameras and file sizes and editing? Because that's pretty much half of my schooling. Like I just said, when I was homeschooled, I would take half the day and learn about cameras and videography and everything about it. So when I went in there, I kind of blew his mind. And he's like, wow, this kid for 14 is crazy. You know so much. And he's basically like, yeah, if you want a job, I'm working on this promotional video for the town to get more tourists up here from the city. And we'll have you on board. We'll pay you and everything. And pretty much from there, I started working with him, shooting all these videos, weddings, events, promotional videos. And pretty much that's how I got into the professional world from there. And then about a few years after that, when I think I was about 15 years old, I got my first hybrid camera that shot HD video digitally and photos as well that were amazing. It was a Canon 7D. And from there, I just really got into photos as well as video, and they kind of go hand in hand. that if you can shoot good photos, you can shoot good video, and vice versa. And from that point on, I just started shooting more and more and more photography, videography. And one day, I was going through town and noticed a flyer in the local town hall that there was going to be a screening of this movie director that he shot his previous film in my small town, that he was going to have the screening there because he was about to film another movie in town as well. So I decided, let me go there early to the screening and see what's up, see if I can meet some of the crew and get on this film. So I went there, I had my dad drive me there, and we got there super early, and it turns out the director of photography was there alone, and he was setting up the projector and all the seats and everything. And I just started talking to him about, films and videos and everything like that. And he was pretty wowed by my knowledge of cinematography and photos and everything and movies in general, that he's like, hey, if you want to come around when the movie is filming, we could use your hand and you can learn how a real movie set goes. So I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And a few days later, I got their contact information. And also before that, I waited around, and he said, hey, just wait around and meet the director of the film. So I waited around, watched the whole film, and talked to him for 20 minutes after the film. He's like, yeah, sure, come around set and everything. So I waited a few days. They contacted me, and they said, come in. And ever since then, I was on set. I was learning how they're shot. And they even hired me to shoot behind the scenes with my camera about how everything was being recorded and shot, and the whole behind the scenes process. And they really loved me and everything. And I got so many connections because the film production was from New York City, that I got all these numbers and contacts. And after the film was done, about a few months later, I'm like, I want to move to New York City and pursue this dream and this passion that I have for shooting videos and feature films and all that. And it turns out they're like, hey, yeah, we have this film. I think it was with James McAvoy and Jessica Chastain. And they're like, yeah, we could use you for a few days. Come on down. And at the time, I had a neighbor that lived next door, upstate New York, that also had an apartment in New York City. She's like, yeah, you can come down and stay, no problem. So I came down and went on that film set, and rocked it out. Was talking with James McAvoy. And it was just a great introductory experience. It wasn't for a paid job or anything, but just for the experience and the credits. And it was just a great experience. And from there, I got even more connections, and I decided to move to New York City full time and pursue my film career and my passion. And from there, working in New York City and living there with my cousin for at least a year, I shot a ton of films and started my own channel and did my own projects as well. And after a while, I decided to go to the Fashion Institute of Technology for a photography degree, which I did for 2 years back in 2015. And from there, that's kind of how it all just started. I've been shooting photography, videography, and just really living the dream doing that. I did stop for a few years after college doing it hardcore to just travel around the world and kind of get a new perspective on life. But that's kind of how my story starts, guys. And hopefully you can get some knowledge and some help from how I started. It's just by, if you want it bad enough and you have a great passion for it, go for it. Knock down doors and talk to the right people. Be brave, step outside of your comfort zone and talk to the right people, even though I might be scared and like, there's a lot of times I thought this little kid is gonna talk to this huge movie director and they're going to invite me to the set. You just have to go for it and believe in yourself. And that if you have a big enough passion and you're willing to give value to a production for free and work for free and just to learn, it'll work out, guys. So if you have a passion for something, don't stop until you meet the right people and you talk to the right people, and don't give up. And offer to help out for free and just give value, and learn and take it from there and start doing your own projects. And that will get you in the door, get your feet in the door for your passion, and you can have kind of this, apprenticeship with someone that's a professional that knows what they're doing, and you can really start doing what you want to do. So that's pretty much my story, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully it was helpful. You got a lot of value out of it. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and share it with someone. And I'll see you guys in the next one.